From Waldai, and 29 is the Honorable Monica Chelangath from Kaps House, and number 30 is the Honorable Albert Kipkoech, that is from Soliat, who was the seconder, and number 31 was is the Honorable Betcheruyot, that is from the Honorable Ainamoy, from Ainamoy Ward. This was prepared by the clerk, pursuant to Kericho County Assembly Standing Order number 74-1, and before the clerk, signed by the clerk, 2nd October 2024, Martin Epus Clerk Patrick, clerk to the Kericho County Assembly. I don't know whether 10 minutes is over. Is 10 minutes over, clerk? The opposite side are not. Clerk, do we have anyone from the opposite side? All right, honorable members, then we proceed. I want to believe you have already drawn the bar and locked the door. You draw the bar and lock the door. You draw the bar and lock the door. Confirmed, it's done. So, honorable members, I have received the name of Honorable Erick B., that is a MCA for Kaplela Ward, who has been nominated by his side, representing the ICE side. Unfortunately, I haven't received any name from the NAY side, and therefore I ask the Honorable Erick B. to come forward and take your seat at the side of the dispatch table, which should be on my left, on my left. Is that left? Yeah, because ordinarily the right side should have been the other side. Honorable members, we shall now commence our voting, and our clerk shall take the votes. Clerk to take roll call and confirm the results with both tellers and other clerks.
Number 1 is Honorable Cheriot Bet. Bet Erick Kipkoroi. Bet Erick Kipkoroi. Bet Gladys Chesang.
I vote yes. I vote yes.
Bet Kipto.
I vote yes.
Chebwagen Evelyn. Chelangath Ma.
I strongly vote yes.
Chepkurui Edina Tane.
I vote yes.
Chepnieno Gabriela. Chepkemoi Beatrice.
I strongly vote yes.
Chepnieno Jessica.
I vote yes.
Chepkurui Davina. Cheriot Martin Kiplangat. Chirchir Paul Kibeagon. Isaac Matkei. Igonyo Masi Njere.
Yes.
Keino Kemgetich Dara.
I vote yes.
Kemoi Peter Kibet.
%, I vote yes.
Kipkoech Albert.
I vote yes.
Kipngeno Hezron.
I vote yes.
Kipngeno Keroi. Keroi Vincent Kipngeno. Keroi Vincent Kipngeno. Korir Francis Chepkorir.
On behalf of the good women of Kericho County, I vote yes.
Korir Vincent Kipkurei.
On behalf of the people of Londiani, I vote yes.
Kiprotich Rogon.
On behalf of the great people of Sigawit, I vote yes.
Korir Matthew Kipkurei. Osgei Kimgetich Vincent.
On behalf of Kericho County Youth, I pick yes.
Osgei Simon. Langat Chepkoech Winnie. Langat Irene Chebet.
I vote yes.
Langat Richard Cheriot.
On behalf of the people, the great people of Kedoa Kimugul, I vote yes.
Maritim David Kipkorir.
Seriously, yes.
Midei Anita Cherono.
The Honorable Maritim, you say either you vote, there is no seriously. So you repeat again, please. Kind of.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. 100% yes. I vote yes, 100% and seriously.
Are you affected by the 1 minute? Okay, proceed, clerk.
Midei Anita Cherono. Mutai Dominic Kipkurei. Mutai Philip Kipngeno.
On behalf of the great people of Kipchimchim, I honestly vote yes.
Ngetich Gilbert Kiprop.
I vote yes.
Opile Noela Omolo. Rono Philip.
On behalf of the people of Kamashan, I vote yes.
Rotich Moses Cheriot.
Order, clerk. You said order? Oh, yeah, that's okay. Proceed.
Rotich Haron Kipkemoi.
Oh, yeah.
Rotich Haron Kipkemoi.
On behalf of good people of Seretut, Cheptororiet Ward, I vote big yes.
Now Rotich Moses Cheriot.
On behalf of the great people of Tendeno Soget, I vote yes.
Rob Naman Kipsgei. Ruto Anton.
I vote yes.
Siele Julius Kipkorir.
I vote yes.
Sirma Lily Chepkemoi.
On behalf of Kericho women, especially market, I vote yes.
Terer Francis Kiplangat.
I vote yes.
Clerk, you can confirm the results with the teller that we have. That is the Honorable Erick B. You can proceed to that in front of the table. Table clerks. Yes, clerk. Okay. Okay. Honorable members from order, honorable members, order. Honorable members from our records, honorable members submitted to me by the clerk, confirmed by the teller, the Honorable Erick B, that the total votes of 31 has been confirmed for the ayes side. But however, honorable members, if none has voted, I still present this opportunity if anyone in the House probably that I have not seen. And from the look of things, there is none. So there being none, honorable members, it now appears to me that all members who are present and who wish to vote have done so. I now direct the clerk again to read out the results. Please, as per our standing orders. Clerk reads out the results as per the standing orders. So you confirm, yes, you read, you say, proceed.
That one voted yes. That is the for the motion. 60.
Honorable members, I now, before I declare the result, I want to address the question that has been raised not only by the legal counsels representing the governor, as well as also the honorable members who have contributed in the flow of the House. Honorable members, this being a question that has a threshold of a resolution of 2/3 of the members to pass, and considering that the 2/3 of the membership of this House is 31.33, that is 31.33, I have deliberately struggled to understand the implications of the decimal points 33, knowing very well no human being is to be treated incomplete. I have allowed myself to be guided by the decision of Honorable Justice Manani in the case of Michael Justin Nkadunda versus County Assembly of Tana River and 4 others. That was Constitutional Petition 006 of 2021, which was filed in 2022, KEE LRC 1605, KLR dated 29 July of 2022, in which the Honorable Judge, when confronted with a similar question in a similar scenario, held as follows. In effect, the ad hoc select committee, I quote, in effect, the ad hoc select committee must comprise of at least 1/3 of the total membership of the first respondent for it to be compliant with the first respondent's SOs. The parties are in agreement that the first respondent had, at the time of the matters giving rise to the course of action in this case, a total of 23 members of the County Assembly. It is also common ground that mathematically 1/3 of this membership is about 7.6, that is 7.6 persons. And as a natural person cannot be fragmented into a fraction, the logical thing will be to round off the 6 to the nearest round number. I still quote, in terms of matters rounding off, the standard practice is that when there is need to round off, one rounds off to the nearest number. In this case, the nearest number to 7.6 is 8 and not 7. The threshold issue with regards to the County Assembly quorum was also determined by the Nairobi County Assembly through its communication dated 6 September 2017 from the Clerk of the County Assembly while conducting an election of the Honorable Speaker, who further determined that the quorum of the County Assembly is 41, that is a third, members out of 122 of the County Assembly. The 2/3 threshold then was determined to be 81, that is 2/3 for the Speaker to have been duly elected. Honorable members, based on the foregoing, I give the direction that the 2/3 of the membership of this House required to pass the motion for impeachment of His Excellency the Governor is 31 members. My position is further by the fact that we have customarily and by practice since the inception of devolution taken 1/3 of the members of this Assembly House to be 16, meaning the balance of the members being 2/3 is equivalent to 31. Honorable members of this House, I have pronounced myself on that matter, and therefore declares that the motion seeking the removal of impeachment from office of the Governor for Kericho County, Honorable Dr. Erick Mutai, by impeachment has been supported by 2/3 of the members of the County Assembly of Kericho. I therefore declare that the motion is passed and the Governor, Dr. Erick Mutai, stands impeached by the County Assembly. Order, honorable members. We have come to conclusion of our special motion in regards to the removal of office of the Governor for Kericho County, Honorable Dr. Erick Mutai, by impeachment, and therefore, being there no other order of business, this House stands adjourned until this afternoon at 2:30 p.m.
as a funeral committee, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I have sat in committees in my rural home as a funeral committee, but for that case, Mr. Speaker, I sat as an honorable member in a committee, special committee formed to investigate the same issues of Londiani issues, Mr. Speaker. We recommend to His Excellency the Governor that people that was involved in the same theft, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, you see the way we lost money. I'm one of the person I went maybe to Nakuru Beach Edge Hospital, Mr. Speaker, and Honorable Her Excellency Susan Kericho, Mr. Speaker, pronounced herself that no bill of the same, because of the magnitude of that incident, Mr. Speaker, she waived at the BGH Hospital, Mr. Speaker. Coming to our own county, Mr. Speaker, the governor himself pronounced himself, and eventually, Mr. Speaker, they went ahead and billed 2,037,524 for Kericho County Referral Hospital, Mr. Speaker. At the same time, 1,534,190 for Londiani Sub-County Hospital, Mr. Speaker. This one came to a total of over 4 million, Mr. Speaker. And we have the evidence of the checks from the same account, Mr. Speaker. It was so painful. We saw people who got injured, Mr. Speaker. I know of many who still to date, Mr. Speaker, doesn't have legs. Though the same people came and sourced money from other accounts of this county government after the staff of the county executive had exploited the same, Mr. Speaker, from the people. Mr. Speaker, for all this to progress, Mr. Speaker, you've had the report, Mr. Speaker. And when we were in primary, there was a book called Primary Science. I think it was standard 6 to 7, Mr. Speaker. There was what we called the food web, Mr. Speaker. And they used to say, in the food web, Mr. Speaker, they were saying, the pointer points to the eater, Mr. Speaker. I end my quote, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The Honorable Chief Whip, the Honorable Rotich.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand here to support the motion for the impeachment of Her Excellency Dr. Erick Mutai. Mr. Speaker, I can recall very well that in the year 2022, somewhere September 9th, Mr. Speaker, I took a Bible to swear clearly that I will take the responsibility of this county seriously and to prevent anything that can actually hinder progress of our county. Mr. Speaker, I want to start very well that the move of the motion has put it very clear that there has been a lot of failures or actually interference causing to loss of several funds. Mr. Speaker, number one, I want to start by bringing to attention of our members that Kericho County Violation Rule, Mr. Speaker, Act 2019, which I participated very well, Mr. Speaker, and this violation rule, Mr. Speaker, ought to have given us 1.2 million. I want to say there has been a lot of money that has been collected, Mr. Speaker, and nothing has been forthcoming to our county. Precisely, Mr. Speaker, that in the collection of our money, Mr. Speaker, I undertook myself personally, as an MC representing the good people of Seretut, Mr. Speaker, I want to state that very clearly, I undertook an exercise personally because there has been a lot of privileges of our county funds. Mr. Speaker, I one day took a gumboot, I took my jacket, I wore a cap, I went to Kapkelek Market, Mr. Speaker, just to ascertain whether there has been privileges in Kapkelek. Mr. Speaker, I want to put this one on record, that I personally, Kapkelek Market has been collecting, or there has been remitting 2,000 shillings every Sunday, but they are collecting more than that, Mr. Speaker. The reason why I want to stand to be counted, and I'll remain very firm, Mr. Speaker, is to support that there should be no privileges in our county. Mr. Speaker, I want to confirm that that day, when I went there at about 11 a.m., Mr. Speaker, with the assistance of our county director, which was present, Mr. Speaker, the county revenue officers, Mr. Speaker, and my role young thugs, Mr. Speaker, because we wanted to know probably what are these ways that we have always been losing the funds. Mr. Speaker, I ascertained, and I want to confirm very clearly, that exactly when I appeared there at 11 a.m., I stayed there up to 3 p.m. Mr. Speaker, I want to confirm before everybody and the media that, Mr. Speaker, at 3 p.m., we had collected 22,000 and 70 shillings on top. Mr. Speaker, we've been losing a lot of funds. And I want to confirm, this is very serious. If we don't stand very firm with members, Honorable Speaker, then we are doomed. And our people have always been asking us about where medicine, where there's no medicine in hospitals. Yeah? Our hospitals are dry, and our people have been on us every now and then, Mr. Speaker. I want to start to be counted that and something on top. But they have been remitting 2,000 shillings. Mr. Speaker, I cannot sit down and watch the funds that are supposed to come back later and assist us build the roads, give us the medicine, assist our people build the dispensaries, build tea buying centers, and everything that is going to be that is of good importance to our people. Mr. Speaker, I want to be counted, and I will stand very firm that at no point will I watch our money being misused, being eaten, being taken away while there are no medicine in our hospitals. Mr. Speaker, I am very serious with this, and I will not take any minute in backtracking what I've said. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I want also to quote that the other day we received a report from the Controller of Budget, that is 2023. Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of members that when we the money that we are supposed to be receiving as a county was not even reported. So definitely zero returns. So, Mr. Speaker, this is very serious. How can the 400 acres of tea not even produce even a shilling? Which world are we? Mr. Speaker, we have tea. I have 2 acres of tea in my home, and I get a little money. How can the 400 acres of tea not even give us even a line item? You can imagine, Mr. Speaker, I was surprised that in the report, Kabianga Tea Farm, even the line item itself, was not even given out. It is very shameful, Mr. Speaker. It wasn't captured. So where is the money for Kabianga Tea Farm? Mr. Speaker, we need to call a spade, but not a big spoon. That one I'll stand very firm. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I want to confirm that among the people that generated the evaluation drone, it is called Kericho County Rating Act of 2019. We sat here, I was among the members who sat in the last committee, in the last parliament. And I can confirm very clearly, and it's very, I'm very, very lucky that, Mr. Speaker, I'm the only one who came back for the members who were there, that parliament. I want to confirm that when we sat, we prepared a comprehensive document that actually would have given this county over 1.2 billion. If we just sit down and watch what we call, there's nothing that has been enacted, has been it's been in existence, so not implementation. Mr. Speaker, if we are going to see like this and see nothing being implemented, then we are losing a lot of money. You can imagine, Mr. Speaker, if I can remember very well, like for the case of Homa Bay. Mr. Speaker, it's good to tell our people very clearly. Homa Bay doesn't grow tea. They can only do what we call fishing. That is in the lake. But, Mr. Speaker, they are collecting over 1 billion. Us in Kericho, we have tea, we have factories, we have coffee, we have lands, plots. Mr. Speaker, I think it's high time that we tell ourselves the naked truth. How can we be getting 359 million? How on this earth? Yeah? When we have everything. Factories here, we have steel factory, we have cement factory, we have several tea factories, Mr. Speaker. We are not collecting. There are a lot of vehicles that are applying everywhere, collecting teas across the county. But we are not getting the value for money. Where is this money that they are saying they are collecting? Lastly, Mr. Speaker, what pains me a lot was swapping the swaps. They have been swapping these the single business permits. How can you swap a single business permit The other day, Mr. Speaker, as I was walking, taking tea somewhere in town here, I just saw somewhere hanged a single business permit, Mr. Speaker, that reads Kericho East, while Kericho East ends at Blue, but it is here in this town. I have to that effect, and I can produce very well. How can it end here, Mr. Speaker? You know, these people are trying to swap. You know, our Kericho, within the radius of Kericho town, usually stands under category A. So it's good to be very honest. And there stands at category C. So they are taking money from the traders here, so that at least you see that they can swap and give them the cheaper, then of course pocket other money. So that one is not acceptable. And that is what we call cross theft, a clear theft, Mr. Speaker. I have it. I took a picture of the same and I can produce. So definitely we need to be serious. I want to request that, Mr. Speaker, as I end, that the money for Kabianga, I want to tell you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to stand very firm with my people and the people of Kericho at large, that the money from Kabianga Tea Farm must be given or must be put on the table. What was the problem hiding? Why are they hiding? Control of budget, the line item exists. Mr. Speaker, there is a serious theft in our county and must be fixed. And those people who can fix this issue are the honorable MCAs. That one must be very clear. It is high time that we stand very firm and to be counted. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to end by saying that I want to applaud the members, over 31 members who are present today, to make sure that we sanitize our county and make it great once again. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, okay, I can see a lot of hands. The honorable
This county, because the governor has failed, you better go and look another job because he has repeated the work.
Order, the Honorable Paul B. Order, honorable members.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to speak on behalf of voters of Kapsaus who actually sent me to this assembly on their behalf. The trust, Honorable Speaker, that was bestowed on me and the order of office that I took here to defend and to defend our county in so many ways and to defend our people. That is why I stood firm, and I really want to congratulate the mover of the motion, my good friend, Honorable Rugoni, and the seconder. Honorable Speaker, we've come a long journey. That is trying to talk to our good friend, Honorable Dr. Mutai, Governor, Kericho County. On a personal note, I've been so close to him. I've taken my time actually to advise him. Having in mind, as was said by Honorable Jeriot Bet, we went to Mombasa some times back, 1 year ago, and we were trying to get some way out of, on ways to collect this revenue. We deliberated, we talked, and finally, there was no outcome. We came to Nakuru, as was said, and thereafter, when we finished the meeting, Honorable Speaker, on a personal note, I did call him again with the sentiments he made, the accusations that bring on the impeachment. I'll cut someone, at his neck. Honorable Speaker, I took my time and I did call him. As I stand here today, I'm not afraid to say Dr. Erick Mutai must go home. He must go home. He must go home because he doesn't take, advices from anybody. Honorable Speaker, the most affected word is my word. Have in mind, when we came in, there was a young CEO, water called Wesley. He left because of the frustrations and, intimidations that he saw in this county. Secondly, we saw CEO Rosemary, who was in charge of finance, a very brilliant young lady who wanted to serve the county very well and to move, in terms of resources. We've talked on all these revenue streams that we must, automate, and maybe we do CCTV in some streets in this town. But because of the interest of one person, because of the interest that is not, it doesn't want to progress the county, we must say today he must resign or he must leave, with immediate effect. Honorable Speaker, I understand, there's a lot of movements in those offices because some staff are being moved left and right. Those are the kind of frustrations we would not like to see. Honorable Speaker, I was a chair, Cousin Tane. Have in mind, when we formed the ad hoc committee on Cousin Tane, I was a chair, and we made some observations, about 21 of them. We made some recommendations, about 24 of them. To date, no implementation, to show that he doesn't respect this honorable house. So I want to support my colleagues and to congratulate these gallant soldiers who stood firm and say, we must protect our county to progress. We must protect our resources. When we talk of Kabianga Tea Farm, Honorable Speaker, I was the chair of finance way back in 0207 when I was a councillor. And the proceeds from Kabianga Tea Farm, my colleagues, we used to pay bursaries for our children. Today, as we sit here, we get nothing from Kabianga Tea Farm to show the man who is in the lead is not leading us well. And we must say he must be in bid. Thank you, and may God bless.
All right, thank you. Order, honorable members. Order. Now, the Honorable Ezron, you are one of the ranking members, and I had already pronounced myself that the Honorable Paul Kiptobi will be the one making final submissions. The Honorable Anthony Ruta too has also raised his hand. Honorable members, I'll give you 2 minutes each. 2 minutes each, and let us. Okay, all right. The Honorable Hezron Ngatich, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Sir, I'll use only 1 minute, Mr. Speaker. I was trying to sit down, Mr. Speaker, and it came to my mind that, Mr. Speaker, when the history of this county will be written, Mr. Speaker, I must be among in the chapters, Mr. Speaker. And to use this platform, Mr. Speaker, to tell the honorable members, Mr. Speaker, who are present in this honorable house today, Mr. Speaker, that this is a defining moment, Honorable Speaker, where it defines politicians and leaders, Mr. Speaker. The honorable members who are in this house, Mr. Speaker, are leaders, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, leaders are those people, Mr. Speaker, who do what is right and not what is popular. We are doing the right thing, Mr. Speaker, by saving the Kericho County, Mr. Speaker. Some of the allegations which has been enumerated in that motion, Mr. Speaker, I support 100%, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is lying to the members of the public, Mr. Speaker, on the issue to do with revenue, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish time will allow, Mr. Speaker, so that we dissect, so that the honorable members and the members of the public and members of the fourth state can realize, Mr. Speaker, the lie which has been being told about revenue, Mr. Speaker. That in the last financial year, Mr. Speaker, we collected 841, Mr. Speaker. The actual money which was collected, Mr. Speaker, is 359, Mr. Speaker. Another which was collected on the hospital, Mr. Speaker, is 185, Mr. Speaker. The other FIF is called Facility Improvement Fund. That is not a revenue, Mr. Speaker, because those are NHIF rebates and those are the monies which cannot be used on development, Mr. Speaker. So the true position of what we collected, Mr. Speaker, is only 359. And Mr. Speaker, let me inform the Honorable House, Mr. Speaker. Out of the 359 million which was collected, Mr. Speaker, were it not for the multinational who gave us a check of 105 million for land rate, Mr. Speaker, we will have collected nearly 100 something, Mr. Speaker. So this county, Mr. Speaker, is in docs, Mr. Speaker, because they have disregarded the laws and the regulation which we have passed in this house, Mr. Speaker. The valuation role is capable of collecting 1.2 million to this county, Mr. Speaker. But what is happening? Mr. Speaker, they have disregarded the valuation role. And Mr. Speaker, some of the witnesses which we call, because we were in the revenue committee, Mr. Speaker, there is one lady, Mr. Speaker, who is almost exiting service. I don't want to name her specifically, Mr. Speaker, but he confessed in this floor, Honorable House, Mr. Speaker, that, Mr. Speaker, she has served and she has only 2 years to exit service. But what she has seen in the last 2 years under this administration, Mr. Speaker, she was pissed off, Mr. Speaker, because she said, whatever we collected and recorded in the ground, Mr. Speaker, is different from what has been recorded here, Mr. Speaker. That shows, Mr. Speaker, how this county has gone to dogs, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for us to save this county, Mr. Speaker, we have to raise up with rise to occasion, Mr. Speaker, and ensure this motion passes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm an engineer by profession, Mr. Speaker, and I'm a mathematician, Mr. Speaker. And the mathematics, and there is one thing which has been a very difficult maths to be handled by all mathematicians, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you give a single person here to count 1 billion shilling, he will count it in a simple manner, Mr. Speaker. But when you give a single person to count 100 votes, he cannot, Mr. Speaker. This is the same as now as being in this quagmire. Because, Mr. Speaker, we are even unable to do for class 4 mathematics to define what is a third, what is 2/3, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I have a high regards to the Deputy Speaker of this House, Mr. Speaker. Because every now and in time when he sits there, Mr. Speaker, he normally used to say, Mr. Speaker, we need to have 16 members to form a third, which forms the quorum of this House, Mr. Speaker. If 16 members forms a third, Mr. Speaker, what makes, what is 2/3 now? It's simple mathematics, which doesn't need a calculator, Mr. Speaker. You just say 47, you lay 16, you get 31. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, we are dealing with human beings. We are not dealing with ceilings and cents, Mr. Speaker. Even if we go to the fraction way, let's say a third, 1/3 over 47, it is 15.66. So because it is beyond 5, we round out to the nearest digit, that forms 16. That is why we have our quorum as 16, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, 2/3 of 47 makes 31.33, Mr. Speaker. We don't have 0.33 of a person, so we round off to the nearest decimal point, Mr. Speaker. That forms 31. Simple mathematics, which was taught in class 4, which doesn't need even interpretation. Mr. Speaker, as I finalize, Mr. Speaker, I know you are more informed than us, Mr. Speaker, and I know we have several case laws, we have several incidences whereby most of the assemblies and most of the has been found themselves in this quagmire, and there has be a ruling. So, Mr. Speaker, you guide the Honorable House and inform those honorable members that, Mr. Speaker, this is a game of wits.
Thank you.
Thank you. I support the motion.
Lastly, the Honorable Anthony Ruto.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity so that I may also support this very important motion. I want to congratulate and applaud the 21 honorable members. 31 honorable members who chose to take a very hard decision. Honorable members, honorable speaker, sir, a good leader shows the way and walks the way. And it comes a time when a good leader has to make hard decisions. It is at this particular time where we are required to make hard decisions. I want to congratulate you for taking those hard decisions to end status quo in Kericho County. It is common sense that Kericho County is among 47 counties in Kenya. But it is among those ones that are endowed with a lot of resources. It is very unfortunate. It is shameful for counties like Homa Bay, Wajir, Turkana, collecting over 1.something billion in terms of their own source of revenue. Kericho is doing at 300, 200. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Honorable Speaker, sir, I was a teacher for a long time. And when a school performs poorly, the head teacher takes the responsibility. When an institution performs poorly, it is the head teacher that takes the responsibility. Kericho County is performing poorly. The person who is supposed to take responsibility is the governor, Dr. Erick Mutai. Honorable Speaker, sir, for instance, in Kipkelion, we have 30 acres of coffee. Before the inception of devolved units, it was under Kipkelion Town Council. We used to collect 5 million and above. As we are speaking now, we are not even getting 1 million in that coffee farm. If, in simple mathematics, 1 acre has 30 bushes. 1,000. 30 times 1,000 is 30,000. Averagely, you can be able to get 5 kilos. Let us say 5 per tree. 30,000 times 5. 150 kilos. 150,000 kilos. Multiplied by even 100 shillings per kilo. 15 million. We should be getting 15 million in coffee farm in Kipkelion. But as we are speaking now, we are getting 1 million. That is shameful. So we want to say, Honorable Speaker, sir, without mixing our words, Governor Mutai has to take responsibility. So I stand on behalf of the people of Kipkelion that Governor Mutai should carry his own cross. And I want to make this one clearly, Honorable Speaker, sir, and loudly. We want our people back there at home to understand that when we don't collect revenue, meaning that we will not be able to carry out programs and projects back there in our wards. For us to be able to carry out projects and programs We must make sure that we correct this problem of revenue collections once and for all. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Anthony Ruto. Honorable members, before I call upon the mover to reply, order, honorable members. Before I call upon the mover of the motion to reply, that is the Honorable Kiprotich Rogony, standing order number 78.3, provides that when the Speaker is satisfied that the motion has been adequately debated, of which I am satisfied, the Speaker shall call upon the person who is being removed from office to answer issues raised in the debate, and thereafter call upon the mover of the motion to reply. Honorable members, as you are also aware, that His Excellency the Governor, Dr. Erick Mutai, sent his two councils, which on record, honorable members, they forego the opportunity to fully defend their client, citing a court order, of which I must state it here and let it be on record that as a speaker, the alleged court order is not before me, and I did not receive it. And therefore, since they are not here to represent the client anymore, I now call upon the mover of the motion, Honorable Kiprotich Rogony, to make his reply for a period not exceeding 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the members who have contributed to this motion. Mr. Speaker, it's been overwhelming. Had it not been for time, each and every member present here today would have contributed to the motion. Mr. Speaker, members have deliberated on the issue extensively. Mr. Speaker, Standing Order number 74, 4, Mr. Speaker, states that upon the expiry of the 7 days notice, Mr. Speaker, this motion was properly before the House. The Governor had an opportunity, pursuant to Article 50 of the Constitution, to defend himself here today. But because, Mr. Speaker, he disguised the whole thing using a court process. And I'm happy, Mr. Speaker, because the members here have stated you cannot injunct a process that has already started. In fact, Mr. Speaker, a member reminded me of an operation, a patient on an operation table, that if, say, the stomach has been opened and a court order comes, does that imply that the doctor will leave the patient on the table to die or continue with the operation? Mr. Speaker, this House, having started the motion on the impeachment of the Governor, could not be stopped by any court of law. And by any chance, Mr. Speaker, we gave a notice 7 days ago. The Governor had an opportunity to use every other means if you wanted to be heard. Mr. Speaker, the Governor is as guilty as charged. Mr. Speaker, I want to point out two issues. One, even the court order that was obtained by Joseph Kogo, Josiah Kogo. You know, Josiah proved before courts that the land belonged to him. The Governor disregarded the order and continues to use the land belonging to somebody else as a dump site. In fact, by the court itself ruling on the matter, proves that the Governor violated Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the case of Alice Bett being nominated to replace Gideon Mutai as a county attorney. Mr. Speaker, again, the courts, in fact, adjudged the Governor. And that means the Governor is guilty and he ought not to be holding office as we speak. Mr. Speaker, why would you go to court to obtain an order to stop this House, you know, stating rightfully that you violated Chapter 6 of the Constitution? Mr. Speaker, this Governor, after this, and I want to beseech the members, when the voting comes, let us vote to impeach this Governor. He has no place in this county. Mr. Speaker, I want to give you 3 issues. Number 1, Article 1 of the Constitution, the sovereign power of it belongs to the people of Kenya. And the same power is exercised both ways. 1, directly by the people, or indirectly by the people elected to represent those people. Mr. Speaker, we sat as a house, given the mandate by the people, to ensure their issues are heard and determined. Mr. Speaker, any member who absconded this session today should be, called to order. Such individuals, wherever they are coming from, ought not to be holding those offices. Because 1, they had an opportunity to argue their case before this house. But unfortunately, they stayed away. Mr. Speaker, Article 2 of the Constitution, the supremacy of this Constitution, it binds everyone, all the state officers and state organs. Mr. Speaker, the governor is bound by the same Constitution. Unfortunately, he has gone an extra mile and disobeyed the same Constitution. Mr. Speaker, this governor should, stands impeached. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, Article 3 of the Constitution, the defense of this Constitution. We have that opportunity to defend the Constitution. That is the guiding principle in this country, Mr. Speaker. Now, where we have a governor who's violated every single article of the Constitution, he shouldn't be allowed to continue governing this county. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, in Kable Lartet ward, my neighboring ward, there is a nurse who retired. The facility was closed for 3 months because there is no staff hired because of lack of revenues. Mr. Speaker, the people had to demonstrate for the Department of Health to go and pick one of the nurses in one of the facilities. Mr. Speaker, my ward, we have a sub-county hospital called Sigawet. I went there one night, and there is a nurse who covered both the outpatient department and the inpatient, that is the wards. Mr. Speaker, these staffs are overwhelmed. Go to district hospital here, people complain for lack of service delivery because we do not have the personnel. And the personnel is hired by the county if we had revenues. This governor, Mr. Speaker, ensured that all the money is meant for this county is stolen for us not to get the service that people ought to get. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, I have a facility in my ward called Coilsir Dispensary. I know of a facility in Soliat ward which is ready for commissioning, but there is no staff. In Cheboin ward, we have the same facility, but without staff. Anytime we go to to those places, people keep on asking, why has the facility not been opened? And our answer is because we do not have staff. Raya do not understand who is supposed to get them that staff to run the facility. Mr. Speaker, this governor failed this county. This governor, when he came on board, he majored on non-issues and minored on serious issues. Mr. Speaker, I want to implore on this house, let us impeach this governor. He has to get out of this county for us to have this county back on track. For us to have the ECD teachers hired, this governor must go. For us to have our facilities, having the requisite number of personnel to run those facilities, this governor has to go. For us to have the instructors in all our various VTCs getting that proper remuneration, Dr. Mutai has to go. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity, and I implore on the members, when the voting time comes, let us vote to impeach Dr. Mutai. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you, the Honorable Kiprotich Agwan, for replying to the special motion. And honorable members, pass one now to the provisions of Standing Order number 64-2. I shall rise to put the question, which is that the Assembly resolves to impeach the governor under Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33 of the County Government Act, and Standing Order number 74 of Kericho County Assembly Standing Orders on the grounds as moved in the special motion by Honorable Kiprotich Rogony, citing A, gross violation of the Constitution and other laws, B, abuse of office, and 3, gross misconduct as tabled before this House. Will as many as are of that similar opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of that contrary opinion say nay? And the ayes have it. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, this, as you are all aware, and I want to make some ruling. Honorable members of this House, this morning we received a list of the members that have resolved that they shall not participate or will not attend this morning session. But I'll give an opportunity, probably, if one of them or so may have arrived. I would like to know. And before then, I would just like to highlight that pursuant to Standing Order number 83, the voting will be done through roll call voting, where honorable members will be called in alphabetical order, and when so called, a member will declare from where he or she sits that either I vote aye, that is yes, or I vote nay, that is no, or I abstain. This is the only way we shall ascertain as to whether the threshold for impeachment in terms of numbers are required by Standing Order and County Government Act is met. As the division bell is being run by Sergeant at Arms, I will request the members of the ayes and the nay side to each nominate a teller and forward their names to the clerk at the table. And I now therefore, before then, I'll request also that since we have the 16 members who have signed, I have two lists here, honorable members, 16 members who have appended their signatures against the impeachment, and I have 31 members who have also appended their signatures in support of this impeachment of Dr. Erick Mutai. And I therefore, if you may take side so that I can get to see clearly as we vote. Do you take those sides? And then, order, honorable members. As you nominate the teller for the ayes side. Who is the nominee for the honorable Erick B? Clerk, you can you note that. And secondly, is the nay side. We have one. I have seen in my left should be the nay side, and there's none. Okay, on my right, sorry. On my right, sorry. On my right is the nay side, and on the left is the aye side. I now order and therefore call upon the Sergeant at Arms to ring the division bell for a period not exceeding 10 minutes. The bell must be rung. Those are procedures. Procedures must be followed. The bell must be rung for a period not exceeding 10 minutes. Honorable members, let me inform you that when the bell is being rung, they thereafter lock the door, and we shall draw the bar after the completion of period not exceeding 10 minutes. And then at that period or at this period, honorable members, you are not allowed to go outside or leave the chambers until when we finalize. As per our standing orders. Clerk reads out the results as per the standing orders. So you confirm, yes, you read, you say, proceed.